We all have things that we get stuck on. Many of them we get stuck on because they're just far too difficult for us to move forward in. And then there's other things that we would never get stuck on because the decision is super easy. The worst type of stuck is when you want to make a decision, but feel powerless to do so. Let me tell you about my dark black cloud. About 5 years ago, I started to realize that every morning when I would wake up, the first thing that I would think about was how unhappy I was about my weight. It was the first thought that greeted me in the morning. In the morning, as soon as I lifted my head and as soon as my eyes opened, the first thought that would come to me would be a mixture of you should go to the gym, of remembering when I was in shape, of thinking of all of the workouts that I used to be able to do, of thinking of all the reasons why I was happy before and why I was unhappy now with myself, of feeling disgusting, of feeling angry, of feeling disappointment with myself, of feeling this mixed bag of emotions that overwhelmed and overtook me and rained down on me so hard that I felt like I could not lift my face off of the ground. The dark black cloud hung over my head. It visited me every day, not as a stranger, but as if it were my best friend. It was there. It served up thoughts to me that I did not want to take into my heart. It caused emotions in me that overwhelmed me in ways that I was completely unaware of. It directed my thoughts and my actions and my words that I gave to my loved ones and to myself, especially inside of my own head. Boy, that self-talk was crazy. It was crazy. And it was too much. It was too painful. It was too much to bear. It was unfair. It was so much to carry. And I knew that everything inside of me desperately wanted to get to the gym, to begin my second journey of losing all of this weight and getting to where I wanted to be and getting to a place where I was happy with myself. But every day I would choose to just lay there. I would choose to just stay in those thoughts. I would choose to try to find rest in the pain that ailed me so deeply. A place that was filled with brokenness. A place that was filled with unrealistic expectations that I placed on myself. There's another day, Eric. Are you gonna start today? Or are you just going to let another day go by where you choose to be lazy, where you choose to not do the things that you know need to be done, where you choose to wallow in self-pity? Hello, Eric. I'm your friend. I know that all of the feelings that I give you, all of those feelings that you feel, all of the emotions that overtake you don't feel so great, but I've been here for so long. Don't you need me? My name is Shame. I greet you at the top of the morning believing that I am your friend because of my presence being consistent. And though you desire change, and though you want growth, and though you want to be happy when you look at yourself in the mirror, those things haven't been there for you, but I have. I will never leave you or forsake you. Shame. Shame, shame, shame. Don't throw me away. Because while I may lack the feel-good tendency that all of those things you want give you, I give you consistency. I give you presence. I am here while they are not. They require hard work while I require literally nothing. I simply require you to just stay here. And every day I will greet you. Every day I will be by your side, waiting for you as soon as you wake up. Shame. Shame is my name. The worst type of stuck is when you feel powerless to be able to make a decision and you feel like you can't move forward. Our thoughts can get carried away sometimes. But you have to ask yourself, what will it take for you to interrupt your thoughts and act on what you know needs to be done? Let's start with the understanding that pain has a purpose. Pain has a purpose in your life, whether you want to admit it or not. And you always have a choice about how you're going to react to pain. And pain's purpose lies behind your life, waiting to be fulfilled and give you the fulfillment in your life that you actually need. You see, the primary purpose that we can use pain for is to give us the motivation that we need to be able to live a better life. You get to choose how you're going to live. You get to choose what you're going to do with that pain and how you're going to allow it to influence you. You can choose to take that pain and just let it fester inside of you. You can choose to take it and put it into something productive. But if you can arrive to the understanding that pain has a purpose, you can take the first step out of either allowing that pain to become toxic or having pain that serves no purpose in your life. You see, this is the thing. None of us are exempt from pain. We're all going to experience it. It's going to happen to us. We're going to go through it at one point in our lives. But some people take that and they let it motivate them into doing whatever it is that they need to do to never experience that type of pain again. And the reason is that remaining in pain is an illogical choice. Pain can always be taken in two different directions. I remember being in 2nd and 3rd grade, going through a whole bunch of different types of bullying in my life. And here's the thing, as I grew up and I went into high school, things changed for me. I didn't stay as that kid that got bullied. I didn't stay the same kid that was a target. I grew up. I started to play sports. My life changed. We all go through things that change the circumstances by which we would have gotten the pain before, or at least I hope we do. And for me, things did change and I got more popular, or I was just more accepted by the peers that I had in my life. And this is the thing, this could have gone two different ways. I could have chosen on one path to retaliate and to take my pain and to use this newfound popularity and acceptance that I had in order to put other people down that were similar or made me feel like the people that were there before, or whatever the case may be. I could have taken that pain and allowed it to change me as a human being and make me do the same things that were done to me, or I could have gone a completely other route. And the route that I chose was to show kindness and love towards the type of people that were bullied in my school and were not accepted. I chose to befriend all types of people. I chose to give my life to God. I chose to show people love. And you know what? The thing is that I wasn't perfect at it. But the reality is that I made a choice. I didn't let my pain choose for me and make me live out a toxic worldview or mindset based on my pain. Instead, I chose to bless people who were in similar situations to the one that I experienced when I was younger. Pain becomes toxic when we allow it to fester. The definition of fester is to become worse or more intense, especially through long-term neglect or indifference. Toxicity is the long-term effect of pain that was never dealt with. Toxic behavior, the way that we lash out, the way that we protect ourselves and build up these walls, the way that we react certain times and we're just like, what is it that took control over me? Those are all based on undealt with pain. You know, if you're listening to this right now and you're still here and you're like wondering, I don't really know what this means, or I can't really apply this to myself, I want to just caution you, because the reality is that none of us are exempt from lashing out in different ways. We lash out against people, we lash out against ourselves, we lash out against society, we press the self-destruct button on our hopes and dreams, we pour ourselves into projects that don't necessarily necessarily really have value towards our lives. We leave things that are good for ourselves. We choose to stop behaviors that will help us to grow. We stop hard things. We default to easier mindsets and easier motivations or actions. It's so much easier to run in default. And the problem is that default sometimes will put you on a trajectory to a place that you don't even want to arrive at. It's like we take away the choice of lifting ourselves up and making decisions about where we want to go, who we want to be, and what we want to do with our lives, what impact we want to have on this world. And when I look out at the world, and I look at the influence that I'm going to have on it. And when you look at your family and you look at your loved ones and you look at who you want to be, do you have an answer to that question? Or are you on autopilot? Autopilot is gonna get you in trouble. Autopilot is gonna make it so that you don't get to where you want to get to. Pain becomes toxic when we allow it to take control, when we allow it to take and make decisions in our lives that we should be making. And that autopilot is just your brain trying to do its absolute best at figuring out what it can do with everything that it has before them. But this is the thing, you have the responsibility of choosing to deal with your pain in a way that helps and blesses you. The pain needs to be released. You need to let it out. You need to let it go. God is calling you to let it go. Your future needs you to just let it go. Release it. It's not meant to stay there forever. How you deal with that pain is going to determine so much about your future. So much is at stake here. So much is at risk. People just live their lives on this autopilot and just think that that's okay. It's not okay, because we have people who are looking up to us. We have people who need us. If you could think about the impact that you could possibly have on this world and see all of the people that are lined up unknowingly and unaware of the fact that they are waiting for what you have to bring to them. They are waiting for the message that you have for this world. And you're sitting here not moving, immobilized, unable to make decisions because pain has held you back. Now is the time for change. And you might have setbacks. You might not have it all figured out. There's gonna be things that aren't gonna go your way, and you still need to keep going.